Drivers, start your engines.
Welcome everybody to Watkins Glen International Raceway. We are road racing this week, round number 26 of the Stone River Outfitters Cup Series from Watkins Glen here in upstate New York. I myself, Scott Patton, up here in New Hampshire, joined by Ken Huber out there, a little under the weather, but how's it going out there in Montana tonight, Ken?
It's going great. I'm looking forward to this race out here in New York, a good old road course race. You know, it's one of my favorite places, so Watkins Glen with the new next-gen cars, this ought to be awesome tonight.
Certainly, we've got a full field packed house here tonight. We'll go over the starting lineup in just a second here, but do you have a weather report for us, Ken, before we get started here?
Yeah, let's take a look and see what we're dealing with tonight. So tonight we're looking at partly or mostly cloudy conditions with 77 degrees ambient temperature with a track temperature of 103. So somewhat fairly mild track temperature, so these cars ought to be wicked fast tonight. And by looking at those qualifying speeds, I would say that they are there, Scott.
Certainly, and let's get to those qualifying speeds as we look at this starting lineup tonight. Johnny Hamby in the number 70 road racing master here, 111.234, takes the pole. Andrew Schulte from Bandit Motorsports from Wisconsin there on the outside pole. Michael Lovelace, Heath Smith, Justin Michael mired back in traffic from Martinsburg, West Virginia, starting in 5th. Our points leader certainly with many wins on the season. Wesley Holland looking at Christopher Davis. Jeffrey Merck mired back in traffic in 9th. And Michael Milfelt, birthday boy, I believe celebrated a birthday a couple days ago, running out the top 10.
Well, happy birthday, Michael. Hey, starting in 11th, the fan favorite Werner Margheim out there. In the number 2 car, Mark Billen starting in 12th. Rod Minton 13th. Charles Widener, he had a road course win earlier this week, Scott, in the trucks, I believe it was. He's starting 14th. Jeff Gilmore 15th. Andre Savala in 16th. Kim Quick, our league admin, took a qualifying lap, so I guess he's racing tonight. So qualified 17th. Jack Watts, Wally Tillerheimer, and Greg Mall wrap out that top 20.
There it is, 21st from Genza Beach, Florida, and none other than the DFH, Doug effin Hevron. Good to see him out here. 22nd, this rounds out the drivers who have not taken a qualifying lap. Trent Drum from North Carolina, Eric Talent, Steve Cigars, Billy Bumgarner, James Hearns, one of our league admins, Jason Hughes, always looking for some excitement from him from the back of the pack, and David Schreck, I'm showing, starting shotgun on the field tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome race there, Scott. And speaking of points and battles at the road course racing, we've had a couple of different road course winners this season. We had basically Jeffrey Merck took the first win of the season down at Coda, which was an awesome run by Jeffrey Merck. He's back there mired, I think, in about 9th place for starting this race. Then we had Wes Holland had a couple great races during the season, picked up a couple road course wins. I think that was Sonoma and Road America. Good job by Wes Smith. He's starting out there in a road course race at Indy, of all places, with Johnny Hamby hot on his heels that whole race, if you remember, Scott. And guess where Johnny Hamby is tonight?
Front row, send him.
Yeah, so Johnny and Justin had an awesome race back at Indy, but now Johnny's got the pole on this. Johnny's new to the league here, new to the series, so a solid road course racer. He's out there in that black and silver, I guess, Blues Brothers car, and going to see what he has in store for this field tonight.
Yeah, should be a good one. We're about halfway through the pace lap here. Left-hander and then a right-hander will make up the rest of the pace lap as we get set to go green for 35 laps tonight in the Stone River Outfitters Cup Series. Should be an awesome one tonight.
So, Mr. Tierheimer, you got a fan out there. Martha's wishing Wally, Lance, and I are watching for you for the race to start, so hope you have a great night. And he says, love, Mom, as we're about to go green.
Here we are. Look at the shot through turn 11. Is that right, Ken? We going 11
Yep,
turns?
turn 11.
Oh, no, the right-hander to the start-finish line. Let's bring him to the green flag. The Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Round number 26 underway. Johnny Hamby on the inside. Downhill to turn number 1. Double wide. Andrew says, I'm not done with you yet. Johnny Hamby sideways in turn number 1. Ouch, that's gonna...
Yeah. And everybody's getting by cleanly there, Scott, so far. But yeah, tough night, no caution. So he's going to have to get that car corrected and see what he can do now, Scott.
Certainly, Andrew Schulte with the free run here through the first lap.
So what I was getting ready to say there, Scott, there's because we're not running the boot, that's actually the final turn is turn 7. as we're going through the bootleg, we're watching, or the bus stop, we're watching Andre Schulte. I can't even talk today. On Andrew Schulte going through the carousel now after going through the bus stop here. As they're headed towards turn 6, this is a big, wide open spot. They can run wider than what we used to be able to run there. There used to be grass as we head into turn 6 here. Next turn will be turn 7, and they're back on the front stretch. So in the shorter configuration, the NASCAR configuration, it's about 2.5 miles, and these guys are getting around this place about 1 minute and 10 seconds.
There's fast laps down by Andrew Schulte up in Wisconsin. Let's look a little farther back in the pack here, see if we can find some battles. We're looking at Mark Billen right now in that number 2 car. Currently running at 13th. Just ahead of him, a couple of battles here. We'll try to catch here into turn number 1. Rod Mitten side by side with Vernon Margheim. Into turn number 1. Cleanly out of there. Nice job by those guys.
Oh, Michael Milfeld Jr. into the wall off turn 1 there. Hard into the wall. There's going to be a significant amount of damage on that 155 machine.
Ouch. There he is, lying on the outside of turn number 1. Unfortunately, no cautions tonight. We'll see if, let's see if we can get him. Yes. Oh, there's Michael Milfeld. It's a little loose there. Maybe a little tap from the 20, I won't say the 24 car, whatever that flame, looks like a William Byron paint scheme. Not sure if there's contact there.
Andre Savala, I believe, is the 24 car, if I remember right.
Michael Milfeld, unfortunately, birthday boy on pit road and shut out the way that he expected to start this race tonight.
Actually, I beg to differ there, Scott. During the driver's meeting, he was saying that he was probably going to be lucky to get a top 15, and I guess he called that.
He was, but I think you and I were both surprised. I want to say that we've seen Michael Milfeld. I know for a fact Road America. I was pleasantly surprised. I want to say he finished 3rd. Put on a heck of a show there in India. I think he had a decent run as well there.
Yeah, he's normally pretty strong on the road courses, so yeah, I can see why you were thinking that, but tonight wasn't his lucky night, I guess. Maybe he was enjoying some birthday beverages.
Just as I am, except it's on my birthday. But let's look at Justin Michael here on the real cam up through the S's, the left-hander, the right-hander, kind of a fun little section uphill. We'll talk through a lap here as he gets on the brakes hard. You see the brake markers on the left side there. Through what's known as the bus stop here. Slow speed, left-hander, right-hander, left-hander. And then through that turn 4. Is it turn 4 or 5, Ken? You said the carousel?
Yeah, this is carousel. This is turn 4 and 5, I believe.
Turn 4, there it is. Up and at him. Plenty of runoff area there. These guys make contact. You see the brake markers on the right side here for a 90-degree left turn. And then a short shoot and a 90-degree right turn and back to the start-finish line. 3 laps here completed at Watkins Glen, 35.
And what the fans were watching there was that 81 car of Andrew Schulte getting bigger and bigger in the windshield of that 87 car of Justin Michael, who started in 5th place, by the way, was second fastest during qualifying. Matter of fact, him and Johnny Hamby had 1 minute and 10-second qualifying or practice times. Justin Michael struggled a little bit on that qualifying session. Then, of course, Johnny Hamby, as we seen, spun out on the first corner of the first lap. So unfortunate start for Johnny, but Justin is starting to make the best of it right now.
Certainly. Let's go back in the pack here, see if we can find a couple of battles. West Holland in 3rd place, picking up spots. Gosh, started in 6th up to 3rd. Back here with Jeff Merck in 4th. Started in 9th, picked up quite a few spots there. Heath Smith, I think, is one of the losers on, well, I guess started 4th, currently running 5th, only lost 1 spot so far.
I'm riding back here in the 14th position of James Hearns right now in that purple 78 car. Kind of that Ford Mustang, kind of running the pack down. He started in 25th and is already up to 14th. That's kind of James's style. He doesn't take qualifying laps. He actually makes his lunch, believe it or not, during qualifying. And then he navigates his way through the field mostly. And it looks like he's doing that tonight.
That is crazy. With my crazy work schedule, occasionally I work the overnight shifts every month or so, a couple months. But from what I understand, James Hearns does it pretty much every night. This is like his morning where he said he packs a lunch, finishes the races. Hopefully, sometimes I think he even cuts them short because he can't finish it. He's got to go to work for the overnight shift. So there's some dedication for you. James Hearns, the biggest mover of the race so far, up 11 spots in 14th.
Yeah, just leading that pack up there. That's Jeff Gilmore in that 57 car in 11th place. Under pressure by that 95 car of Charles Widener trying to get by that machine. Up front, it looks like Andre Savala or somebody went through the grass up there. It looks like they kept it clean, though. Back up front, though, Justin Michael is now all over the back bumper of that Chevy Camaro with that Toyota Camry. That Beretta machine pointing, got his crosshairs pointed at that 81 of Andrew Schulte. Now, we haven't seen Andre in a while, so I keep calling him Andre for some reason. I know it's Andrew. Sorry about that. Working so hard at getting Bizzle and Widener down, I screwed it all up.
I'm right there with you. In the chat, we got Emily Hearn saying, you got this, Dad? I believe that's got to be James Hearns. Not sure what the relationship is there, but huge fan from the Hearns family. For James Hearns running in 13th.
Here we go. We got a attempt for position going into the bus stop. We had Justin Michael on the outside. Thought better of it. Backed it back down. To head towards the carousel here. See if he can get another run. This next one is a good opportunity to get a pass done, especially if the guy you're chasing gets a little free on exit here. And it looks like they both get the rubber planted down and headed to turn 6 here.
Yeah, there you can see the gap. Is a good shot down that short chute there behind Justin Michael. You can see Wes Holland in the back and then Heath Smith in the far back there. Just how much of a gap these two front runners have on the rest of the field. But Justin Michael just buying his time right now, looking for a way around teammate Andrew Schulte in the Children's Wisconsin, number 81.
Yeah, I was seeing if he was going to take a look on the braking zone here, but nope. And Andrew gets through there cleanly, as well as Justin. Looking back here, I'm back here on the 57 of 57 just got off track there. As I was about to call him out, he was having a significant battle back there with a bunch of other guys.
Not sure. I just happened to click on James Hearns for Emily there. If you're watching, not sure why he's on pit road. Maybe get some insight here. Seems a little early for a pit stop, but
yeah. So, do we have a pit road update of what the fuel strategy is tonight, there, Scott?
Yeah, I was talking to some drivers in the pre-race practice session, and they're telling me 15 to 17 laps, which, if you can do some basic math, is a very interesting number, Ken.
You said it was 15 laps?
15 to 17 on the high end, yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, in a way, that makes sense why James might have came in then. He gets out of traffic, can run a clean car in basically, clean air for a while. And it looks like we have...
Side by side for the lead here. Turn number 1, Justin Michael on the inside. Lap number 8 here at Watkins Glen. Hard on the brakes. Look at those brake rotors glow there. And Andrew Schulte has nothing else to do but unfortunately give up that position. 2 points later, 87 Toyota Camry, Beretta, and Justin Michael.
Yeah, Andrew Schulte is picking up a heck of a race tonight, though. So I know he's actually looking ahead of Justin Michael there. We do have James Hearns there, who's just about to go a lap down. So James is pitted, and I think that might be part of his strategy, just to get clean track out there. So he's at the tail end of the lead lap, Justin Michael approaching. But anyway, as I was saying about Andre, he's a good road course racer, but I've been really impressed with him tonight. I haven't seen him in a couple of months, actually, and he's out here leading this thing.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Not only to make your, after a big break, we missed him for several weeks, but to have one shot here at Watkins Glen and be super competitive, racing with the points later in the Stone River Outfitter Cup Series, proving that he belongs here. Andrew Schulte making a heck of a run here. 9 laps going on the board.
So I'm going back through the field here, there, Scott, and seeing what other battles we have on the track here. It looks like we have more cars on pit lane, so I think that's part of the strategy. So it looks like Andre Savala is on pit lane. There's a few guys on pit lane.
Yeah, looking down pit road right now. Michael Milfeld, of course, stuck there. Unfortunately, his night is probably done, I think. Looking at Wesley Holland right now. He is, there he goes, going through the bus stop. All kinds of sideways. Looking sharp there in the Bush Apple Ford 41 car. 3.9, almost 4 seconds behind our leader. We'll see if he can at least maintain that gap. If not, start to reduce that a little bit here.
So I just seen back here looking at the 13th position of Jason Smoke Hughes. Just let Jeffrey Merck back for that, or let Jeffrey Merck by for that 13th position. As I mentioned at the top of the race, Jeffrey has a single road course win this season. Kind of struggling here at Watkins Glen tonight. He's actually down on the night. He started in 9th and up to 13th. So I don't know, maybe something happened during that start, but it looks like he's attempting to gain some of those positions back.
Maybe it's a change from Merck in that a lot of times, how many times can we count, Ken, this season where Merck's made a heck of a run and then unfortunately ran into issues late in the race, right? Maybe he's making the mistakes and getting his trouble out early in the race and then he'll put together the rest of the race here to make a strong run. Who knows? I
wonder if he ever feels, Scott, that we're airing his dirty laundry in public.
No, I don't think we have ever done that. I don't know why Jeff Merck would ever think that we give him crap here on the Multi-League Racing Network.
Yeah,
Jason Hughes sideways there off of turn number 1. Awesome shot there of Jason in the SRX Chevy.
And you know what? We're on a road course, and Jason Hughes was actually in the chat, I believe, while we were running too, Scott.
I saw that. Engine's too loud. I think he was talking about the cockpit cameras here. We'll go to cockpit. This is a little loud, Jason. I know. Block your ears. Maybe this will distract him to the bus stop. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. You know, if he spins out, that's his modus operandi there.
I had nothing to do with it.
Got the field separated out now a little bit there, Scott. I'm up here in the 10th position with Charles Widener, being chased by Greg Mall currently in that 7 Miller Fortune car. Keeps like changing that every week.
Miller unfortunate car.
Oh, hard on the brakes. Did you see that? I thought he was going to get in the back of that 95 car.
I'm looking a couple ahead of Charles here. Rod Minton, this battle seemed to be a little bit closer half a lap ago, but here's Johnny Hamby. Remember we talked about him, the pole sitter for the night. Spun it around in turn number 1 and back up to 8th spot, up to 7th. Give it to him, Johnny Hamby. What a comeback there. Let's follow a gap here because he's going to be super fast here, right? 21 seconds off the lead. He may not be competitive for the win necessarily, although we got a long way to go tonight. I'm interested to see if he can close that gap at all to the leader and start clicking off some laps here now that he's free of traffic.
Yeah, I'm looking now at the 8th position, Rod Minton. It was a battle between him and the 33 of Bernard Margheim in the Chevy Camaro there. Rod Minton had just gotten by. We kind of missed it there. So Rod Minton is starting to try to chase that 70, maybe follow that 70 to the front. That's the plan of Johnny Hamby there.
There it is. Looking down the scoreboard now, trying to find some battles on the track. Everybody's kind of spread out a decent amount here. Christopher Davis, one of our good, he's awesome at points racing. Obviously, no wins on the season just yet, but last I checked, I believe he was 3rd in points. Ken, do you have an update on that? Do you have the points with you? 3rd or 4th?
Who were you asked? Christopher Davis?
Christopher Davis, yeah.
Yeah, he's currently in 3rd, still holding strong, 166 points out of lead. So Christopher Davis, no wins on the season, had a couple of close ones there. Road America comes to mind, but having a really solid season right now.
There he is. Saw Michael Milfelt come off pit road there. No fast repairs here in Multi-League, so probably extensive repairs on that Federated Auto Parts Toyota, but back on the track nonetheless. Isn't giving up.
Yeah, so like you said, Scott, too, when you were talking about 17 laps possible for pit stops, that good for those guys that want to stretch it out. Could make this a single stop race. Is that what you were thinking?
I was thinking that, man, 17 screams to me that if I'm in the back half of the field, I'm playing the fuel mileage game and trying to stretch it to 18, right? 18 times 2 gets me to 36. But 17, gosh, if that is the absolute limit, it looks like a 2-stop race here. Which, like I said, James Hearns is down in the standings right now if you see him in the point standings, Emily, but I don't think I would count him out necessarily at all because he is not outside of the pit strategy that these leaders are going to be taking by the end of the race.
Definitely not. And he's running about 6 seconds behind Andrew Schulte, the 2nd place car, even though James Hearns is now a lap down, but he's holding strong up there. And of course, our leaders are going to have to pit. Speak of the devil, Justin Michael headed pit lane. along with Andrew Schulte, both will get these cars loaded up as they enter pit lane. Now, one thing too, Scott, is over the past road course races that we've watched this season is not everybody's taking tires. In fact, we've had races where no tires were taken the entire race.
Greg Maw comes to mind, Mr. Clock Man, right?
Yeah, 10-4, and then we had, I think it was Jeffrey Merck at Coda. He took no tires that entire race, so this could be another one of those things. And I don't see the jacks going up on the 87 car. Same with Andrew Schulte. Looks like fuel only, and Justin Michael's away.
I will admit, in the pre-race, I was talking to the Bandit guys, asking them if they were thinking about, could this possibly be a no-tire strategy race? And I tried to convince them that I was the only one listening and I wouldn't share it with anybody, but they literally would not tell me. So.
Well, I guess we're finding out live together, I guess, what their plans are. So the one thing that Justin Michael's got to be concerned about, well, all of our leaders for that matter is now we're in traffic, right? So anything can happen. We remember what happened to Johnny Hamby, Michael Melfeld Jr. at the start of this race. You know, this could play an impact on these guys now as they're having to race in traffic.
In traffic with full fuel loads, our probably handles just slightly different, worn tires, so a lot of variables that they're probably not used to that they've dealt with for the first 14, 15 laps of this race. Side by side now, Greg Maul and Vernon Margheim, that is for position as well. Vernon Margheim in this time. Yeah. Nope,
so
take that back.
We do have a new leader there, Scott, since our previous leaders have pitted. That 41 who'd been running a quiet third, probably about 5 or 6 seconds off the lead, Wes Hall.
There it is.
Just got around that lap car, James Hearns, who was one of the first ones on pit road that hadn't cycled around. See if James has made up any position. I believe when he went to pit lane, he was in like 13th or 14th. So be interested to see where he comes out when everybody does their pit stops.
Johnny Hamby, a quick replay here. Off the turn number, last turn there to the front straightaway. Said he got in an issue there. Maybe just off track, maybe. We'll see what he does down here in turn 1. This is a replay of Johnny Hamby in the 70. Locks out the brakes. Yeah, probably outside of the track limits there in turn 1, but gets back on. No additional damage. See a little bit of damage on the front end of that 70 Chevy, probably from that initial lap there.
Well, let's talk strategy, Scott. That 41 car, that Ford Mustang of Wesley Holland, back up front. He's going to be 17 laps next time by, so he has technically probably can make it to the halfway point, it looks like.
Wow, and if he can put 17 down, Frank is 1 lap short, but also keep in mind that we did a pace lap at the beginning of this race, right? So that's kind of extra fuel that's almost worth an entire lap. Oh man. Whew.
And he also is the only one with multiple road course wins this season, so never count Wesley Holland out of this thing. I wonder if Wesley Holland's dad's in the chat. I don't see him, but I imagine he's got to be watching his son currently leading this thing. Give us a shout out there, Wes, if you can hear us.
I got to give Chris some crap here in the chat. I believe he was referring to us talking about the pit stops and how we were saying the leaders don't take any tires. And Chris is saying that Scott does that at Bristol. That's not my routine preferred pit strategy, but yes, I have done a Bristol race without changing tires because I didn't want to go 2 laps down, and I ended up 5 laps down with the blown tires. Thanks for bringing that up, Chris.
And that's the team captain,
right?
Bandit Motorsports, calling you out. Back up front, still Wes Holland. So Wes Holland is going around. This will be lap 18 next time by. So Wes Holland's definitely got the field covered on fuel mileage. And that's provided he can get it to pit lane this next time by. I imagine that might be close to being on fumes right now.
If he can make it, let's go. Why don't we go cockpit? So we'll see if you'll hear the engine stutter, if it is going to stutter at all. But I'm looking at lap times. Wesley Holland, his best lap tonight, the entire night, is a 1:11.5, right? A minute 11.5. Let's back up to Justin Michael, who was our race leader earlier. His best lap of the night is a 1:10.9. So basically a half a second slower. But Wesley Holland now has about a 22-second lead because of that pit strategy. Wesley Holland stays out another lap.
I can't believe it, Scott. I can't believe it. Wow. And amazing right now. I'm just blown away that he is still out on the track. James Hearns behind him, who's a lap down, pitted early. So still waiting for this field to sort itself out. Wes Holland just showing that he's got field mileage strategy. Michael Loveless now on pit lane. He's in the 3rd position. Looks like Keith Smith on pit lane. So a couple of these guys made it to lap 18. These guys are coming in, so this must have been all they had.
But even at that, even at 18, right? You're sitting pretty comfortable here. Double that, you're on the 36. So
now my question is, so Scott, you got probably the data there. What lap did Justin Michael pit on?
Justin Michael pitted 4 laps ago.
So lap 14?
Yes.
Oh man, I don't know. That's 20 laps. I don't think he can do it because he's kind of stuck with that strategy unless he's super fast.
Correct.
So which he might be.
I was just gonna say, if you're Justin Michael, 20 seconds off the pace of our race leader Wesley Holland, staying out for the security lap, number 18. I'm sure he's got to be coming to pit road this time. But nonetheless, how frustrating does that have to be, thinking with confidence that you were thinking that it was a 2-stop race, and now one of your biggest competitors in the point standings, Wes Holland, has turned into a 1-stop race right before your eyes with a 20-second lead.
Yeah, and it's pretty obvious too. I imagine Wes Holland should be on pit lane. He is. Wes Holland has entered pit lane. I was watching Justin Michael there, Scott, so kind of off the car. Justin Michael will re-inherit the lead as of right now, but Wes Holland is looks like he's sitting in the pretty boy seat.
He is. No tires as well. I think he's learned from that strategy from the Bandit guys, so he's going to limit his time on pit road, knowing that it doesn't probably make a huge difference on the pit times, on the lap times, I should say. But man, oh man. We'll see where he comes back on the racetrack here in reference to Justin Michael. However, he's got to know in the back of his head that it doesn't matter a whole lot because Justin Michael still has another pit stop in front of us, as does Andrew Schulte.
Yeah, and I believe it takes, I don't know, you probably lose 24 seconds while you're on pit lane, so that's something else you're going to have to factor in. When Justin Michael's got to say a 30-second lead over Wes Holland on the next set of pits, then Justin Michael still might be able to squeeze it out.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening. Right now, Wesley Holland down 11 seconds in 3rd place. Granted, he is losing ground, right? He's not putting down the fastest laps of the race. But as we know, that's why we call it racing and not qualifying. The fastest car does not always win the race. But man, if I were a betting man, I'd love to be in Wes Holland's seat. Not
Yeah, I'd kind of like to be in Wes Holland's seat as well. So I'm back here. Actually, I changed it up. I'm looking at the 68 car, Michael Loveless. He's kind of in a battle there with Christopher Davis. And a car there in front, Johnny Hamby. I believe Johnny's gotten by those 2 guys as Johnny tries to make his way back up front. But that 68 car, kind of a cool looking car out there, Scott.
That is, certainly. We'll go for a closer look here. I love the silver, kind of a chrome finish, shiny finish on that. The Water Wheel Foundation, established in 1997. Meals for Wheels, America. Kind of a cool paint scheme there.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of Chris Davis's old color palette.
Yeah, with like the teal and the white.
Yep.
Christopher Davis, of course, right just behind him here, into the bus stop, trying to make up time on Michael Loveless.
There's a car way slow in the carousel there. I think it was a 78 car of James. Oh, no, it wasn't 78. Not sure, but he's getting that thing all wound back up. So
8 car, maybe? Is it a gray car?
Yeah.
8 gray car.
Oh,
Billy Bumgarner.
James Hearns, look at this 78 machine right now, Scott. He's in 13th. That car is dragging the asphalt right now. I don't know what's going on, but there's sparks coming all over from the bottom of that car right now.
Let's take a look, see if we can see some of those sparks. I don't see any on my camera just yet, but we'll see if that splitter on the back end through the carousel. I don't see anything, Ken.
Yeah, so I guess it might be an iRacing.
Just maybe just a bottom out spark there as he jumped the curb out of the carousel there, but nothing major.
Yeah, it could be just the prediction index for iRacing, and that's why I'm seeing it, and you're not. I thought it was interesting. I thought he maybe damaged the car on a curb or something there, so. But sometimes these things happen. Wes Holland, 12 seconds, 12, almost 13 seconds behind the leader. He's currently in third. If he can hold that gap, I would say he's looking really good. Just behind them, Jeffrey Merck has managed his way up to fourth after starting in ninth. So we talked a little bit about Jeffrey, kind of making fun of him like we normally do. Up now in fourth position there, Scott.
That he is, and the title sponsor, Stone River Outfitters, number 60 Toyota Camry. Little front end of damage on that 60. Have we mentioned that before? Is that new to me? Ken, do you know where that came from at all?
No, I
Coming to
don't.
pit road this time is Jeffrey Merck. That's an interesting
I was just
call.
getting ready to say, remember he lost a bunch of positions at the start of the race, and he might have gotten the back of somebody. And while we're talking, Justin Michael on pit lane to get that final pit stop. So here we go. This will be interesting where he comes out in relationship to Wes Holland and whether he can run him down.
Yeah, there he is outside of pit road into turn number 2, up through the S's. Highest peak of the racetrack here. The left-hander, then the high-speed right-hander right behind Johnny Hamby. Let's take a look on the track where Wes is in the carousel right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you when Johnny Hamby came in there, Scott, because Johnny Hamby was strong, if you remember, but I don't know if Johnny can make it. I don't know where he is on his fuel stops.
Johnny came in 5 laps ago, which my math tells me that is lap 17, so Johnny is probably super, super close. He was 5 laps ago, and then Wes Holland was 3 laps ago, so remember how Wes made kind of that extra lap on lap 18 when we're super surprised when that pretty much sealed the deal as far as a one-stop race? Johnny Hamby is 2 laps shy of that, so I think he's maybe trying to stretch it, but it's going to be super close for Johnny.
Plus, he's got a lot of damage on that Toyota Camry, so I believe that that's going to affect his fuel mileage too, so I would say it's probably pretty slim that he can run it down.
Yeah.
But if he can stay in that draft there, maybe he can squeeze some fuel out of that, stay behind that 87 car. You know he's fast enough, just whether that damage is going to prevent him from doing it. As they head up through the S's, you can see him start to lose time there.
I was going to say, Justin Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, Ken, as I kind of brainstorm and think out loud here, but he's made 2 stops now, is that right? And we're 12 laps from the finish, so he is, for all intents and purposes, done on pit road. Wesley Holland is done on pit road as well. So that is basically the difference right there, right? And
that's correct.
I think what you're seeing on the leaderboard is completely accurate for a green flag race to the end of this thing. Justin Michael down 13 seconds with just 12 laps to go. That's over a second per lap that he's got to make up on Wesley Holland. And that is basically the difference of the one-stop race versus a 2-stop race. Justin Michael, we know, is typically faster on this racetrack, but man, it's a long way to make up.
Yeah, it is a long way, but, you know, never count Justin out. I mean, somebody could have a mistake out there. Wes could get off track and lose 5 seconds. And, you know, one of the things, if you're Wes Holland and you're looking at your relative and you're watching, say, the 87 goes in, you know, 3/4 of a second every lap, that's weighing on your brain. It's like, can he catch me? And instead of driving the car, you're just trying to do math in your head. And sometimes you make that mistake.
I know how that goes on road courses, Ken. I've done that with you.
Yeah.
You're 10 seconds behind
me too.
And watching you tick down, and I know I'm a sitting duck and trying to play the math game to the end of the race, but yeah.
Andrew Schulte still having a solid night, kind of running in 4th. Johnny Hamby, we believe, is going to have to make another pit stop. Don't know yet, but Johnny Hamby in 3rd. Another solid night after starting off on the pole. Heath Smith back there in that 1 car. We haven't talked about him much tonight. He's running in the 5th position currently, having a real solid night himself.
Yeah, great run for Heath. Let's see where he falls in the pit strategy. Stints on tires 6 laps ago, which takes him to lap 19, 18 or 19 he probably pitted. So I gotta imagine that Heath Smith has done his pit stops for the night. I think he's on that 1-stop strategy and sitting pretty comfortably there in 5th spot. Nice run for Heath.
So now that all the pit stops are made, I noticed that James Hearns is still, I guess he's a lap down now, Scott. We were kind of hoping he'd get back up there. Still up 10 spots on the night, but finds himself a lap down there behind Werner Margheim, who's also a lap down in the 13th position.
Yeah, rough go for those guys. Just to give you an idea of the lap times that they are putting down. Let's see, James Hearns, his best lap of the night is a 112.7, right? Minute and 12-second lap, and the leaders are putting down 111s and 110s, so about 2 seconds off of pace for Vernon and James for tonight.
Yeah, right now I went back up to our leader just to see what kind of lap times he just turned. 11:19, it looks like, a 1:11.9, I should say. And Justin Michael is a 10th better. Well, the last lap, we'll see what goes by when he crosses the flag. Yeah, so he's a 10th better than Wes Holland right now, and that's not going to do it, Scott.
Yeah, if the folks are looking for an easy way to do some math, this is my kind of math. Justin Michael is 11 seconds off the pace, 10 laps to go. Divide that up. 1 second per lap leaves him 1 second short of the lead.
Yeah, and I'm going up to look at Wesley Holland right now, and what I'm doing is I'm seeing how much traffic he might have in front of him, and he has got clean track all the way to the 38 car of Christopher Davis, who's like the last car on the lead lap, I believe it is. Yeah, that's correct. So he's got, I don't know, he's probably 6 or 7 seconds behind Christopher Davis, and Christopher Davis is not slow, so it's going to be a long time before Wesley Holland sees traffic. And you know, traffic can play a big factor on these road course races, so having that clean track in front of Wesley is helping his game plan here.
Certainly is. Ken, I was wondering if you'd do us a favor. Can you talk us through a lap here at Watkins Glen? We're on board with Wes Holland through turn number 1. I wonder if you can talk the fans through what it looks like from the cockpit.
So now as we're in the cockpit here, we're going to go up through the S's. We're going to get it down to third and just kind of ease on the gas a little bit. Keep it from drifting out wide so you don't get in the wall right there. As you get through the S's, you get on this straightaway right now, and now you're up to full song. Get the car maybe up to 4th. I usually hold it in 4th gear. Hard on the brakes as we enter the bus stop here. Kind of cut the corner here a little bit. Let the car swing out. Get it down to 2nd gear. Kind of get it set up for the carousel. You don't want to get wide here. You want to get it down on the curb and kind of bring it around and then gently pick up the throttle. The car gets a little free down in here. Then he comes up over the curb. This is a new asphalt patch that they put out here a few years ago for us. Used to be grass there, so you couldn't go that wide. As we head into turn 6, another hard braking zone. Get it down to 3rd gear, or 2nd gear, I should say. And this is a final corner. Turn 7, as we head towards the front stretch. This one, the car gets really free here, so you got to be careful. Ease on the gas, full throttle, and he'll get this thing all the way to 5th gear before he gets down to the bottom of the hill into the super hard braking zone of turn 1.
There it is. Happens that quick. Awesome job there, Ken. Appreciate that. Wesley Holland wheeling that thing. You can see the steering wheel moving left and right, swatting flies through there, especially to the bus stop. That was really cool to see. Appreciate that, Ken.
Talking about putting me on the spot there, Scott. Wasn't expecting that.
Pulls through just like I knew you would. So talk about intervals again. 8 seconds for the fans, right? We talked about last time, a couple of laps ago. It was basically a second per lap. Now Justin Michael finds himself in 2nd spot, still more or less 11 seconds. He's gained half a second, but that ain't gonna cut it tonight. 8 laps to go. He's got to pick up a lot more pace than that. All things equal, I don't see him doing it. Wesley Holland's gonna be pretty happy with the strategy tonight.
No, we don't have a lot of big battles going on the track right now, although we have James Hearns trying to get around, it looks like, oh no, it was 87 of Justin Michael, just got around James Hearns, so that was about the best battle I could see on the track. So it was a lapper and a leader, I guess.
Yeah, we'll kind of fan through the field here. Here's Wally. Where's Wally running? 15th tonight, 1 lap down. Martha sent a message to Wally earlier tonight. Said, Wally, Lance, and I are waiting for your race to start. Hope you have a great night. Have fun. Love, Mom, Wally. There she is. Martha, we always love Martha here at Multi-League Racing Network.
Having fans is always nice, too. That's really nice, Wally. Really appreciate them being here, watching the show tonight with us. You know, Scott and I work really hard at this, especially Scott. You know, I just show up and talk that nobody wants to hear, I guess. But all kidding aside, you know, if you do like these videos, like and subscribe. That's what gets us out there, gets us promoted, gets the league promoted. So, you know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. Make sure that you're seeing all these races live, as we call them.
Certainly, and I'll be the first one to say, Ken, and I think you're with me on this one, from the sincerity of my heart, from a broadcaster. I'm a racer at heart, but we've taken up the broadcaster role this year, and I just got to say that it brings us joy to figure out that, or to see that how much people enjoy these races when they do like a video, when they do subscribe, when we see the views going up during the week. We pay attention to those things. I know I at least do during the week, to see how many people are enjoying the races, and it just brings us joy to know that people, to hear all the compliments. And if you feel so inclined to send us a message, we're always open to criticism, positive, negative, neutral, whatever you got. We love to hear it here at Multi-League Racing Network, and we've got a great depth of talent here in terms of adjusting the broadcast for the viewers, and we've changed some things and adjusted some things. So if you got some ideas, send them our way. We are all ears. We're doing this for you guys out there. So
yeah, thank you again. So I'm back here. Let's see what the 68 car is doing there, Scott. I'm just seeing if that's a lap down car, but there looks to be a battle. Yeah, it looks like I don't even see the 68 on my road. Oh, here we go. That's Michael Lovelace.
yes,
Michael Lovelace back there under pressure with the 13 car of Matt Rodoloso. We haven't talked about Matt tonight, but Matt's putting all kinds of pressure on Michael Lovelace. About the best battle on the track right now that I can scope out there, Scott.
yeah, through the carousel. See Michael Lovelace drifting a little bit high. Matt Rodoloso gluing it down to the stripes, as you were describing during our editorial lap there. Gets the run there through the short chute. We got a 9-degree left-hander, and then the final turn 7, the right-hander. Man, Mike is all over the back of Michael here.
Yeah, I'll be curious if he can set him up for the braking zone here. So they're exiting turn 7 here, going on the front stretch, and it does look like Michael Lovelace, Matt Redoloso, has a little bit of a run. Looks to the inside and see if he can outbrake him going into turn 1. Look, tucks back in, decides not to do it. So, and this is for the top 5 position here as we head towards the S's. Taking another peek there. Trying to peek on the inside there. Michael Lovelace can't get it done there. That's a hard place to make a pass, and the S's there. Next best opportunity is coming up here for the bus stop. And this is kind of a game of chicken. If you do get a run going into the bus stop, is who's going to lift. They're starting to approach some lap traffic. It got Michael Muffelt Jr. had that early race incident there in the 155 Toyota Camry. He's going to let him by nice and easy there because good sportsmanship. Let these two guys have at it again as we watch Matt Rodoloso try to get another run going into turn 6 here, seeing if he can make another attempt going into turn 1 as they come into turn 7, getting ready to head to the front stretch. See if he can get that black 13 car a nice run here. Takes a peek on the inside, yeah.
Try to set him up. Thinks better of it again. Sometimes, you know this, Ken, we've talked about this before. Sometimes you just kind of play mental games with that driver in front, right? Sneak a bumper out there, let them know you're there, you're looking, mess with their vision. They got to look up at the bumper to see if you're going to make a move, and next thing you know, you can potentially induce them to make a mistake.
Yeah, and I want to say, you know, give the 68. He's under pressure by Michael Lovelace, but it goes to what you were talking about, Scott. He is not caving to the pressure, right? I think what
tonight.
What he's doing is he's just driving the car and kind of ignoring what Matt Rodoloso is doing, which is good heads-up driving.
Yeah, some drivers you can literally see on the racetrack when drivers get close to him and get in the mirror and start making moves and start making them basically mirror drive is what it's called. You can literally see them kind of start to make mistakes on the racetrack every turn or every other turn, and that is not happening with Michael Lovelace making a great run here. Cracking top 5 here. Awesome run for Michael. Matthews, Virginia.
This is a great battle here, and don't change the cameras there, Scott. But I was just going to talk about the leaders as he takes another peek there. Matt's going to take a peek on the inside. Might have the advantage here. We'll see. And he does. He's going to get this position here going into turn 1. Now we'll see if we get a crossover here. Nope. Give that position to Matt Rodoloso. As I was getting ready to say, Scott, I was going to mention the leaders. Justin Michael has made up about 3.5 seconds so far, 2.5. Now just 7.5 seconds behind our leader, Wes Holland. But I got to tell you, 3 laps to go to this time by, which looking at Wesley Holland right now, coming into turn 7, going down the front stretch. It's going to be 2 laps to go with 7 seconds, a 7-second gap on Justin Michael.
Yeah, 3 to go. So do some basic math here. Remember around lap 10 to go, we were talking about Justin Michael being down 11 or 10 or 11 seconds, needing a second per lap faster. Now Justin Michael finds himself 6 seconds and change with almost, well, 3 laps to go last time. That would be, he would need to make up over 2 seconds per lap if he were to catch Wesley Holland. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, and it might be a place like Road America where the track is 3 times the size. It might be a place where you can make up some significant time, but this track, oh, the 9 car, David Schreck, just spins out in front of the 41 there, gets off the track, gets that thing towed. It was right before the carousel there. That was kind of nerving. So Wes Holland is starting to have to deal with a little bit of traffic that I was talking about. He's starting to catch Christopher Davis.
Here's a replay of David Schreck hard into the barrier outside the carousel, just like you were talking about. Stands still and then jumps off track to the garage area. There's a good replay there.
Yeah, it's always a scary thought. You're leading the race and then you see something like that happen in front of you. It's kind of scary. You put all the time and practice into the race, and then all of a sudden right at the end, it might be gone.
White flag is out one more time around the 7 corners here at Watkins Glen. Down the hill here into turn number 1, the right-hander, 90 degree. Justin Michaels 5.8, basically 6 seconds off the pace. Ain't gonna cut it. Man, this guy's a bad apple. I love them thinking outside of the box on the fuel strategy tonight.
Yeah, well, we still got a half a lap to go, Scott. And you know what that can be like on the last lap there. So, you know, one thing I'll say about Wes Holland, he's got 2 road course wins on the season. I remember at the start of the season, he says he is no road course racer, but here he is. Led most of this race so far with pit strategy and speed. It's a combination of both there. He's on the last lap leading this thing right now. About, hopefully if nothing happens, pick up his 3rd win on a road course this season.
Absolutely well deserved. No damage on that Ford Mustang 41 Bush Apple car from Bad Apple Racing. Here's a left-hander, turn 6. Christopher Davis, the lap car in front of him, no factor. Turn 7, nice and easy to the checkered flag. Give it to number 41, number 3 on the season, Wes Holland, well deserved here. Victoria shuts it down at the start-finish line. Love it. Justin Michael across the line here in 2nd.
Andrew Schulte now around in the bend in turn 7. Oh, as James Hearns gets in the wall in front of him. He's going to pick up 3rd tonight there, so solid run by Andrew Schulte.
Back here, the battle for 4th and 5th. Matt Rodoloso and Heath Smith. They're within a second or so. Almost looks like Heath Smith is out of fuel behind him. I think he was one of those ones that we were talking about is super short on that strategy.
Yeah, definitely. Greg Mall coming up behind him. He's coming up. Is Greg Mall going to beat him in the line? No, I don't think so. Greg Mall is going to pick up that 6th position, however.
There it is.
Michael Loveless back here in 7th, coming around, getting ready to enter turn 7. Still, these cars are on the lead lap. Got round in turn 7, going to pick up the 9th position here. We missed Rod Mitten. He picked up, it looks like 8th, but...
And then Christopher Davis, we mentioned, was just in front of Wesley Holland, so he's got to be the last one. He is 10 cars on the lead lap. Christopher Davis out of turn number 7. Takes a checkered flag, shuts it down. Does a nice job there by one of our big point contenders in 3rd place in the point standings. Christopher Davis with another solid top 10 finish.
Yeah, it was a great run by everybody tonight. So last road course of the season, I believe, Scott. And
I don't know. Get the Roval.
Oh, the Roval. Yeah, I forgot about that.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, that's in the chase, 2nd round of the chase. Actually, I'm looking at it now. So while Scott sets us up to interview our top 3 tonight, looks like Wes Holland, Justin Michael, and Andrew Schulte will be up in the booth with us shortly.
Got Justin and Andrew both from Bandit. I'm sure Wes will join us here shortly in the chat. But there we see Wesley Holland burning it down on the front stretch. This is live donuts here at the Glen with the brake stand at the start finish line. Love it. Win number 3 on the season for Wesley Holland.
So win number 3 on the season, Scott. So that means that you should ask him about that. Wes Holland is only 1 on the road courses this season. That's crazy.
I know it was Sonoma, right? What was the? Oh, there goes the engine.
Yeah, Road America,
Sonoma, and the Glen. Maybe he's not looking for this playoff battle coming up here in a couple weeks after Daytona next week. He's only going to have one road race in it, so it's got to be.
Oh, actually, he actually does have an oval win there, Scott. We missed it. He's got Talladega.
Oh, there we go. Why don't we talk to our race winner, Wesley Holland, win number 3 on the season. Congrats, my man. That's awesome job from Bad Apple Racing here in the Ford Bush Apple car number 41. Win number 3. How was that strategy? Must have been relieved to see those Bandit guys pit a little bit before you there, huh? Lap 14, 15? Oh, there he is. Ken, Wes, you got a copy?
Yeah, it looks like he's having some radio problems there, Scott, at the moment.
He is, potentially. So let's go to maybe our third place.
User disconnected from your channel.
Our third place runner of Justin Michael from Bandit Motorsports. Unfortunately, not able to put another win on the season, but starting deep in the field for you, at least. I think you started 5th tonight. How was it working through the traffic initially, and then how frustrating was it to see that pit strategy not quite work out the way you intended with Wes Holland walking away with this thing on a one-stop race?
Well, I don't know. I tried to save gas last night in a practice session, and I couldn't get to 18 laps. I don't know how he did it. Good for him, but I just could not do it. So I just came in with the mindset, we're just going to do hot laps every lap, trying to get as far away from him as we can. And, I mean, I was, 5 seconds behind him there at the end, so it almost worked out.
Hard to argue with that strategy. And what do you got going forward after this week? Daytona next week. What do you got for Daytona here?
I think we'll get some team strategy going on. Hopefully we'll be a dominant factor there. Hopefully just don't get any late race yellows like we have been and screw us up. So we'll see what happens there.
Cool. Nonetheless, I think I'm looking down the leader standing here. Best lap of the night does go to the 87 Beretta Toyota Camry of Justin Michael, 110.769. Everybody else in the 111 second bracket. So like you said, putting down qualifying laps the entire race. We saw you come in on the lap 14, I believe it was. I want to say 15 maybe. And no tires. Was that something that was pre-planned, or was that kind of a spur of the moment decision there?
No, the tires are hard, so they don't wear. So there's no point to change them. With we don't have a lot of gas here. If there was maybe a 60 lap race, maybe change them once, but 35 laps, there's no reason to.
Cool, sounds good. Quick and pretty straightforward race here at Watkins Glen. Awesome to see you up there with all those win stickers on the 8-post there. I'm kind of relieved I don't have to put another one on you for this week. But last week at Richmond. Unfortunately, we weren't here at Multi-League Racing Network, but took down that checkered flag as well. Daytona Super Speedway next week, and any specific strategy, because we're not going to be here next week on the Multi-League Racing Network. I'm going to be on vacation. So the next time we will talk is potentially in the playoff series. Any strategy you got going into the playoffs, or are you going to kind of play it by ear and do the same thing that you've done more or less the entire season here in dominating fashion?
I mean, we got a really good points lead, so we can pretty much do whatever, trying to get a win, and still be safe and still come out with points lead. So maybe we'll throw something together there late race and see what we can do. Maybe we can pull out a win.
I like that strategy. It's worked certainly so far in this season, except it won't work in the last round. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you know better than I do, but those bonus points that you've gathered throughout the entire season, which I believe you're the leader on the bonus points, won't transfer to the last round. Is that correct?
I believe you're right. It will go throughout the entire playoffs except for the last race. So the last race is just whoever finishes ahead.
There we go. So going for more wins on the season, trying to rack up as many as you can in a potentially a record-breaking season here. I like to say that my record last year was pretty stellar, but you're putting me to shame here. Heck of a job here. Ken, you got anything for our
No,
third
good
place
run
winner?
there on that third place. I know that you started out really strong. You had a kind of a difficult qualifying session, it looked like, because I was surprised to see you back there in 5th, but you powered on through, and then Hamby's mistake. So yeah, solid run. So congrats on your finish today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, the tires they don't warm up that quick here, and qualifying was terrible. So I think we were, like Scott said, 5th. So it, then the wreck there at the first turn really helped us a lot, I think. So it's a good race in the end.
All right, well, appreciate congratulations on the second place finish here, and we will talk to you next week. Probably not next week because Multi-League Racing Network won't be broadcasting, but we'll talk to you the week after at the beginning of the playoffs, presumably, well, most definitely with a playoff banner installed on that Toyota Camry. Congrats, Justin, on another awesome place finish here at Watkins Glen.
Thanks, guys.
There you have it, and we'll talk to, oh gosh, who do you want to talk to, Ken? Andrew
Let's
Schulte?
talk to Andrew. Yeah, I can't even talk. Hey, Andrew. Got me and Scott up here in the booth. Congrats on that second place finish. But, hey, brother, you haven't been here in a couple months. Where you been?
Well, I'm gonna correct you for a second. It was P3, but I wish it was a P2. Wife and I had our second kid back in end of May. So
What kind of excuse is that, Andrew?
that's a pretty damn good excuse if you ask me. So,
I agree.
Taking a little bit of leave of absence. He's sleeping all good right now, and wife's hanging out with our other one. So had a little bit of time to hop on and see what this new car was all about.
Well, you showed us that you could still get it done, so I know you're pretty strong. You came out here after being away for 2 months, which is well-deserved, actually, having the child, but came out here after a couple months and pulled down the third place finish. I've been corrected. And yeah, so solid night with the new car.
Yeah, not too bad. Wasn't with no practice. Chris hopped on last night and was like, yeah, I'm in TeamSpeak if anyone wants to join. So, and I hadn't talked to him for quite a bit too, so I hopped in there, ran a couple laps, and figured out the plays, figured out the brakes and braking points kind of deal, and was pretty comfortable with hopping in here and seeing what could happen. But yeah, I mean, congrats to Wes. That was a brilliant call on the fuel strat there. Congrats to Justin on the second. He was fast. I don't know how he was getting through the bus stop as quick as he was, because that's where he was gaining the most time on me. But congrats to both of them, and just happy to come in third there.
Well, I see you got Children's Wisconsin on that 81 Chevy Camaro. So you got anybody else you want to thank tonight?
Yes, sir. Shout out to them. Town Motors out there in Waukesha, Toyota used cars sales. Shout out to the wife for hanging out with the kid, with our oldest while Dad got to come down here and turn a few laps with the boys. And hopefully you guys had a fun time watching and broadcasting, and anyone out there that was watching. Hopefully it was a good show.
Always do. All right, Scott.
All right,
well, thank you,
appreciate
Andrew.
it, Andrew, for the, let me get this right, third place. We did our interviews a little out of order tonight, but third place here at Watkins Glen. Congratulations. What do you got going for, looking forward to the playoffs? We're going to see a little more of you around now that the kid's a little bit older these days, or you need more time off, you think?
Hoping to. We'll see how his sleep goes and how his teeth start coming in, and we'll go from there. I think we got Daytona next week if we're following the Cup schedule, so yes. I'd hope to be here for that as well. Just get a couple fun races in here, see how things are going. Want to also wish him a happy 3-month birthday. He turns 3 months tomorrow, which is pretty quick, so just wanted to shout that out.
What's his name?
Graham.
Graham, all right.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
birthday to Graham, 3 months from Multi-League Racing Network. That's pretty cool. That's good. Time's got to fly by, huh?
It already is, man. I tell you.
All right, well, that about wraps it up from here. Congrats again on the third place podium finish on after a leave of absence. We always love having you back here at the Multi-League Racing Network and the Stone River Cup Series. Stone River Outfitters Cup Series, and we'll look forward to seeing you in future races here.
Appreciate it, guys. Good to see you again.
All right. Yep. See you, buddy. And that brings us to Ken, our race winner, Wesley Holland, win number 3 on the season. We thought it was only road race victories this season, but we were standard corrected, Wes. 2 2 road course victories and 1 at Talladega. Is that right?
I think I got 3 road courses. Could be wrong.
Oh, so are we looking at number 4 tonight or 5?
Is
4?
Is it 4?
No,
Which
3.
one did
This was number 3. I think I won it at Sonoma and the other, what was
Road
it?
America.
Road America,
right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. So 3 roads, 1 super speedway for the Bad Apple Racing Bush Apple Ford, number 41, Wesley Holland. How comforting was that to know that you weren't necessarily the fastest car on the track, but that's why we call it racing and not qualifying. The fastest car does not always win, obviously. How relieved were you when you saw the pit strategy kind of unfold on that 14 there?
I mean, to be honest, I kind of thought that Justin and them guys, Bandit, probably knew what was going on. I did a couple practice sessions last night and I knew I wasn't going to be super fast here, but I just did a couple different strategies and seeing how far I could make it if I shifted in different areas and didn't downshift in areas, just to see how much fuel consumption was actually burned up on track. So tried it twice last night and then again before the race today, and I was heart set on trying to make it a one-stop race for sure. I knew that I was about a lap. I was a lap to the good if I did what I needed to do in the first run, and then just be kind of moderate in the second run. So glad it worked out. Was kind of surprised to see those guys pit there early on. Didn't know if that was too early for them to be pitting, and then they were probably going to run me down there at the end. That's what I was more afraid of there. So I knew Justin was fast, and he probably could have chewed up 13 seconds, but thankfully it didn't happen.
Yeah, certainly we watched that kind of even out throughout that second run there in the second half of the race. But that strategy there, we saw you 17. Ken and I, we went on a cockpit view to watch you in car to wonder if that was going to be perhaps stalling out on fuel, low on fuel, but you stayed out for another lap. Ken and I were both pretty surprised there, but you stayed out lap 18, I believe, completed 18 and then came to pit. That would have been super comforting knowing that the second half of the race you could pretty much run it the way that you want, and that's what you did here with a 5.2 second lead over our points leader, Justin Michael. Win number, let me get this right, 4 on this season, is that right?
5.
3.
Dang it, Scott. Dang
Yeah.
it, Scott.
Am I still screwing this up? 3? I thought it was 3 road courses, including tonight. No?
No, I
Well,
wanted
no.
the
You've
other one of those
You
other
got
tracks right
Talladega.
after
You got Talladega,
Sonoma,
Talladega.
Road America,
It was a newer track that got put on the circuit.
Nashville.
Nashville. There you go.
Nashville, the Oval. Oh, so it wasn't all road
The
races.
oval. I'm
Cool.
kind of an oval racer still. It's all right.
Right? I consider myself still a racer, although
Well, I
I'm
was
struggling here
actually-
behind the broadcast booth.
I was actually making fun of you tonight because I was like, "Holy crap, he's collecting more road course wins than oval wins." You know.
I guess that's what happens when you complain as much as I do about road courses. You just finally learn how to race them, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't even fast, so I mean, it was just a different strategy that I took after in this one.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Wes, some of my strategy, at least last year when I was racing, was that if I knew that if I couldn't beat him on pure lap time, if I wasn't the fastest guy out there and super competitive for the win, which plenty of times I was not, I was always going to plan B. I'm thinking fuel strategy, I'm thinking team drafting, I'm thinking anything I can to get ahead of them, and I'm gonna, pretty much nail that strategy. So that's where I felt like one of my strengths was, and I think you showed that tonight with knowing that you're not the fastest guy out there, didn't take the pole, didn't have the fastest lap by a decent margin, but nonetheless clicked off consistent laps in a perfect fuel strategy race, knowing exactly how the race was going to map out from green flag to checker flag. And that's what I love about the Bad Apple Racing team, as you guys look at the strategy from start to finish. So awesome job nailing that tonight in the 41 Ford. Congrats on win number 5. Gosh, my brain hurts. I gotta give you another sticker, maybe.
He's also second in points there too, Scott.
Yeah, second in points, dominating. What do you got? The Multi-League Racing Network is going to be off next week from Daytona when we watch for the cutoff race, but obviously you are locked into the championship. What's your strategy going into the championship playoff rounds here?
Just the same as it was a couple weeks ago. I'm just trying to get as many bonus points as I can here, heading into the first stage of the postseason. So bonus points, clean races, just trying to get as many of those extra points that matter in the chase. So hopefully we can stay clean at Daytona. Don't know about that. I said it earlier in the season at Talladega though, so can somehow pull that one off. So we'll see what we got.
There it is. Only one road race in the playoff series. That's going to be at Charlotte Oval, but nonetheless, Phoenix is the closer. Hopefully we'll see you there. I remember having some awesome battles with you, in particular at Phoenix. So looking to see what you can do there for the championship. I think you are super competitive for this. Hopefully there's a trophy in your future. We're pulling for you. So congrats on win number 5 here. Anybody you got to thank for win number 5 here?
You guys up in the booth put on this show here, so that people like my dad that live in a different state can check it out. It's pretty awesome. All my buddies over there, Bad Apple, all the guys that come into the chat and run with us every week to help formulate the strategies. Sometimes we're bad for each other, and most of the time we're pretty good. So I appreciate them and all the admins over here at Multi-League for putting this on every week, giving us a place to run every night of the week. So appreciate it.
Appreciate that. It is an awesome place to run for all these guys. Kim, we appreciate all their work and everything they do to put on this league. It is an awesome league and a great group of guys to race with. A lot of times I wish that I was certainly out there on the racetrack with you guys, but I will be out there before too long, I think. But
yeah, we need you back out here.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Just
awesome,
makes me faster. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, you definitely tested me at times too. So congrats here. Win number 5 on the season, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks' time when the playoffs start. We'll get you a playoff banner designed here. Those are coming. Should look for those this week. And congrats here, Wes. Awesome job here at Watkins Glen.
Appreciate it, guys.
Congrats.
Thanks, sir.
There it is, Ken. What do you think for a wrap up at Watkins Glen here?
Yeah, it's kind of what we expected, although I really enjoyed the pit strategy tonight. I enjoyed talking about it, Scott. That was kind of my favorite part of the race. And I love road course racing, and when somebody can pull out a win like that by using their brain, it's always a lot of fun to talk about.
That is what I like too. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's easy, because it's certainly one of the harder things to do, to click off fast laps, right? Fast, consistent, qualifying laps, lap after lap. But there's a lot more to this whole iRacing thing and racing, the racing mentality in general. And like you said, Ken, you nailed it on the point there when you said that Wesley Holland just kind of nailed that pit strategy, put the mental game in it, knew what he was facing from the drop of the green flag, executed perfectly, and it certainly paid off here at Watkins Glen. Saw an awesome race, great battles throughout the track. Tough break for, gosh, where did Johnny Hamby end up? I think 17th.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he must have had another incident there towards the end. Yeah, tough night for Johnny. He'll be back.
Yeah, as we breeze through the finishing order as we wrap up here from Watkins Glen, looking at 11th through 20th right now. Charles Widener in 11th. James Hearns, talked about him. Emily's watching the broadcast. Hopefully we give him enough TV time for you there. Wally Martha's out there for you in 14th. Johnny Hamby in 17th, 8 laps down. Michael Milfeld Jr., the birthday boy. Obviously trouble early on in this race. And David Schreck in 19th. We'll go through 21st. Doug Hevron in 26th. Didn't see much of him tonight. 33 laps down. Gotta believe he ran into trouble early on this race. And then Steve Seagars finishing shotgun on this field. Here at Watkins Glen, that about wraps it up. What do you think, Ken?
I think that does about wrap it up. But I was going to say one thing, because we're taking a week off next week. But I was looking at the schedule, and when we come back, I think we're going to be back to a track that's just as entertaining as any road course we could go to. Only this time it's an oval, and it's called Darlington.
Darlington Throwback Weekend. I've already had a couple people ask me about throwback paints. I don't know for sure that the Multi-League is going to be doing an official Throwback Weekend. As a Cup Series, it's normally the spring race that we already had. But I'm already working on a couple throwback paint schemes for it nonetheless, because it's still pretty cool. So one of my favorite tracks, certainly a driver-friendly track to open the playoffs. Looking for that. 10 races to go here when we rejoin at the Multi-League Racing Network in 2 weeks' time. I'm on vacation next week, so on behalf of Ken Huber and myself, appreciate everybody watching. Like you said, if we haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, throw us a comment. Heck, throw me a private message if in Facebook or whatnot if you have any critiques on the broadcast. Jason Hughes threw us some critiques tonight. We appreciate that. Always things we're going to work on in the future. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time, folks. Have a safe 2 weeks, and good night from Multi-League Racing Network.
Good night, everyone.